Total Nonstop Action Wrestling is a privately held American professional wrestling promotion based in Nashville, Tennessee, dealing primarily in professional wrestling, with major revenue sources also coming from live events, product licensing, and direct product sales. Founded by its former president, Jeff Jarrett, and former chief executive officer, Jerry Jarrett, in 2002 as J Sports and Entertainment, LLC. It is the second largest professional wrestling promotion in the United States after WWE. Panda Energy International purchased a controlling interest in the company in 2002 from Jerry, reincorporating it to TNA Entertainment, LLC in the process. Jeff, the company's former vice president, departed the company as executive vice president of development, original programming on December 22, 2013, but remained as minority shareholder until his return on June 24, 2015. Jarrett's departure as minority shareholder, and therefore his complete departure from the company, came as a result of his return to the promotion, with the deal for his return including the sale of his minority stake to Panda Energy, resulting in TNA becoming a wholly owned subsidiary of Panda Energy. Panda Energy founder Robert Carter and President and Chief Executive Officer Janice Carter's daughter, Dixie, is president of TNA. The company's headquarters are located in Nashville, Tennessee. TNA was granted exclusive rights to both the NWA World Heavyweight Championship and the NWA World Tag Team Championship. TNA withdrew from the NWA in 2004, but was permitted to continue to use the championships until the NWA abrogated the agreement in May 2007. TNA became the first American promotion to make exclusive use of a six-sided wrestling ring as opposed to the more traditional four-sided ring. History. Formation. The concept of TNA originated shortly after World Championship Wrestling ended in 2001. Bob Ryder, Jeff Jarrett, and Jerry Jarrett went on a fishing trip and contemplated their futures in the sport of wrestling. Only one wrestling product remained on U.S. national television: the World Wrestling Federation. Ryder felt that this situation led many television stations to regard wrestling as bad for business. He suggested a company not reliant on television, but rather one going straight to pay-per-view. The Jarretts found the financial backing they needed, and the company put on its first show on June 19, 2002. That night, however, in a dark match just before they went on the air, a 450-pound wrestler named Cheek hit the ropes with so much force that one of them broke. The estimated repair time was 30 to 60 minutes, which they did not have because the schedule called for them to go live in a few minutes, whether the ring was ready or not. Backstage, the producers shuffled the schedule so that some non-wrestling segments went first to give the ring crew some more time, but they did not have many of them. The ring crew fixed the rope with the help of Ron and Don Harris, and everyone went live hoping for the best. Initially, TNA's weekly pay-per-view show operated as the company's main source of revenue, in place of monthly pay-per-view events used by other promotions. These shows started on June 19, 2002, and took place mostly at the Tennessee State Fairground Sports Arena in Nashville, Tennessee. Nicknamed the TNA Asylum, after 27 months and 111 PPVs, TNA began holding a weekly television show and monthly 3-hour pay-per-views. The last weekly PPV took place on September 8, 2004. TNA Explosion launched on November 27, 2002 as TNA's first regular cable show and featured exclusive matches from the TNA Asylum as well as exclusive interviews with TNA wrestlers. On November 18, 2004, the show became a recap show of the previous week's Impact. In light of alterations in the taping schedule, Explosion resumed airing exclusive matches once more on October 7, 2005 in addition to recapping Impact. The Explosion exclusives also aired on the now-ceased TNA Global Impact. Internet show. Airing of Explosion in the United States ceased at the end of 2006, although some of the exclusive matches can be seen on TNA today. 2004 to 2010. In May 2004, TNA Wrestling announced that they would be including a television program on Fox Sports, dubbed TNA Impact, at Soundstage 21, Universal Studios, Florida. The transition included the use of a six-sided wrestling ring, the implementation of the Fox box, displaying competitors and timekeeping for the match, and a generally more sports-like style than the sports entertainment style exemplified by the WWE. With the switch to cable television, TNA discontinued their weekly pay-per-view shows in favor of a monthly 3-hour pay-per-view format as previously utilized by WCW and ECW and as currently used by WWE. In November 2004, TNA held the first of these pay-per-views, Victory Road, beginning the pattern of pay-per-view shows that continued until 2013. The television contract with Fox Sports expired in May 2005 and was not renegotiated, leaving TNA without television exposure. This prompted TNA to air Impact via webcasts, originally made available via BitTorrent and eventually via Real Player, and on Urban America Television, replacing Explosion. During this time, TNA continued pursuing a profitable television deal for regular broadcasting. TNA later secured a deal with Spike TV and aired its first episode on October 1, 2005. In November 2006, TNA began holding select pay-per-views outside of its central filming location, the TNA Impact Zone in Orlando, Florida, with Bound for Glory 2006. In April 2006, TNA announced a partnership with YouTube whereby TNA supplied YouTube with exclusive video content in exchange for hosting, leading to the production of internet shows. In January 2007, TNA's mobile content deal with New Motion, Inc. led to the introduction of TNA Mobile and mobile fan voting. TNA has also launched TNA UTV podcasts aired through YouTube to help promote the company. Impact expanded to a 2-hour format on October 4, 2007. On June 21, 2009, TNA launched an online Video Vault subscription service where subscribers could watch past pay-per-views by choosing one of 3 payment options. On October 23, 2008, TNA made the transition to HD, and since then all programming has been broadcast in high definition. In addition, TNA introduced a new HD set that included new lighting and several large high-resolution screens. 2010 to 2014. In 2010, TNA hired professional wrestling legend Hulk Hogan and former WCW president Eric Bischoff. Both obtained a position behind the screen and made some changes. They also hired many high-profile ex-WWE wrestlers, including Ric Flair, Rob Van Dam, Mr. Anderson and Jeff Hardy, while returning to a 4-sided ring. On February 15, 2010, TNA made a new deal with Spike TV, which moved Impact to Monday nights, directly opposite of Raw. The first episode took place March 8, 2010. On May 3, 2010, TNA announced that Impact would be moved back to Thursday nights, rebranded as TNA Thursdays. At the same time, the company also announced that Spike had picked up TNA Reaction, which became a regular 1-hour docu-series on June 24, 2010. Reaction focused on the stories and characters of TNA wrestling and preview the upcoming episode of TNA Impact. TNA Wrestling President Dixie Carter announced on January 13, 2011 that on February 24, 2011, the promotion would be holding Impact tapings at the Crown Coliseum in Fayetteville, North Carolina. On May 3, 2011, TNA Impact was rebranded Impact Wrestling. On November 7, 2011, TNA announced that it had reached a deal with Ohio Valley Wrestling to become TNA's official developmental territory. In December 2011, TNA debuted their new India-based subsidiary promotion Ring Ka King. On May 31, 2012, Impact Wrestling began airing live at a new start time of 8 p.m. EST on Thursday nights. The live schedule would continue throughout 2012. On July 11, DirecTV, the carrier of Spike, blocked all Viacom stations affecting TNA viewership from DirecTV's subscribers. On July 20, DirecTV announced that it had reached an agreement with Viacom and had added back all 17 removed channels, which included Spike TV. On January 31, 2013, TNA announced that they would begin taping Impact from different venues around the United States starting March 14, 2013. From the Sears Center in Chicago, TNA officially terminated its lease with Universal Studios in late March 2013. On March 14, 2013, TNA introduced a new Universal HD stage which will be used for all weekly programming. On November 2, 2013, TNA ended its relationship with OVW. TNA formed a relationship with Japanese promotion Wrestle One beginning in July 2013 with a meeting between TNA founder Jeff Jarrett and Wrestle One head Keiji Muto. It was arranged for Jarrett to wrestle for Wrestle One in October 2013. In November, AJ Styles successfully defended his TNA World Heavyweight Championship at a Wrestle One show in Japan. From the period of 2013 to 2014, many well-known names or veterans of the company left TNA. Hulk Hogan's contract with TNA expired in October 2013, and he returned to WWE in early 2014. In December 2013, AJ Styles left TNA after his contract expired. Styles later said that he could not accept TNA's new contract offer, which would see him take a 60% cut in pay. Also in December 2013, TNA founder Jeff Jarrett resigned from the company. TNA accepted his resignation but clarified that Jarrett was still an investor in TNA. In spite of his investor status, in 2014, Jarrett announced plans to start a new professional wrestling promotion, Global Force Wrestling. The departures did not stop in 2014, with TNA veterans Sting, Chris Sabin, Hernandez, Christopher Daniels and Kazarian all leaving the company in that year, and the contracts of TNA Hall of Famers Bully Ray and Devon reportedly expired in October 2014, with TNA moving them to the alumni section of their roster in January 2015. In late July, the TMZ website reported that Spike TV was not renewing Impact Wrestling beyond October. In response, TNA refuted the report, stating that negotiations were still ongoing. On August 14, TNA announced that Impact Wrestling was moving from its Thursday time slot to Wednesday nights. On August 20, TNA announced that it had signed an extension with Spike TV until the end of 2014. The 2014 Bound for Glory pay-per-view was held in collaboration with Wrestle One in Tokyo, Japan on October 12. The TNA World Heavyweight and the TNA World Tag Team titles were not defended at the event, which featured TNA wrestlers James Storm and the Great Sanada against Wrestle One's The Great Muta and Tajiri in the main event. After Bound for Glory 2014, TNA effectively went into hiatus due to Impact Wrestling ending their contract with Spike TV and its subsequent move to Destination America. The show ceased airing new televised events after the November 19 episode of Impact Wrestling, with the final episodes of 2014 being dedicated to Best of TNA clip shows before resuming events on January 7, 2015 with a live show from the Manhattan Center's Grand Ballroom in New York City. 2015. Present on November 19, 2014, TNA announced that its relationship was ending with Spike, and that it would instead partner with Discovery Communications to distribute its programming beginning in January 2015. In the United States, TNA programs, including Impact Wrestling, will move to Destination America. Discovery will also hold rights in selected international markets. Spike's outreach at the time was estimated to be more than 97 million homes, while Destination America was estimated to reach 59 million households. Destination America is, however, one of the fastest-growing cable networks. Impact Wrestling's premiere was on Wednesday, January 7 at 9 p.m. TNA announced that Impact Wrestling Unlocked, a brand-new weekly series, hosted by Mike Tenay, would premiere on Saturday, January 17, and TNA Wrestling's Greatest Matches, a new series featuring the best matches in the company's history, premiered on Saturday, January 10 on Destination America. The series aired every Saturday at 12 noon immediately following Impact Wrestling Unlocked. From December 2014 to March 2015, several employees re-signed with TNA, including Kurt Angle, Jeff Hardy, Gail Kim, Mr. Anderson, Abyss and Matt Hardy. Awesome Kong also rejoined the company following a several-year absence. During this period, veteran Samoa Joe and commentator Taz left the company by mutual consent. Discovery Communications announced in early April 2015 that Destination America had recorded their best first quarter ever, thanks in part to TNA's Impact Wrestling, with Destination America capturing over 41.94 million unique viewers over the course of the quarter. On April 27, 2015, it was announced that Smashing Pumpkins frontman Billy Corgan had joined TNA as senior producer of creative and talent development. In May 2015, Discovery Communications dropped Unlocked and Greatest Matches from their programming on Destination America. In June 2015, Discovery Communications announced that Destination America recorded their best May ever in prime time, touting Impact Wrestling as one of the reasons for the increase in viewers. On November 19, 2015, it was announced on the same day that TNA signed a deal with Pop to air Impact Wrestling beginning in 2016. Impact Zone, house shows and touring. In May 2004, TNA announced that they would be airing their new show TNA Impact from Universal Studios as part of an agreement reached with the theme park. Accordingly, TNA leased Soundstage 21 for the purposes of putting on wrestling events for an indefinite period of time. From June 2004 to March 2013, TNA taped its flagship show, Impact Wrestling, as well as its secondary show Explosion from the Impact Zone. They also aired every monthly pay-per-view in company history from that location until October 2006, when Bound for Glory was broadcast from the CompuWare Arena in Detroit. TNA started running house shows on March 17, 2006. In 2007, TNA Wrestling first toured Europe, hosting 2 shows at Oporto and Lisbon in Portugal. In 2008, TNA wrestlers featured at Wrestle Kingdom 2 in Japan. Later on in 2008, TNA conducted its first tour of the UK, with most shows selling out. 2009 saw the promotion tour Germany for the first time. 2010 saw the promotion make its French debut and its United Arab Emirates debut. In 2012 the company made their debut in Belgium. In August 2007, live events coordinator Craig Jenkins stated that TNA intended to stage 8 pay-per-views and 96 house shows outside Orlando, Florida in 2008. In 2009, on TNA's UK tour, a house show at Wembley Arena in London broke TNA attendance records. On July 2, 2010, MCU Park hosted a live TNA house show, which also broke the TNA domestic attendance record at the time and is currently the most attended live TNA house show in the USA, with a capacity crowd of 5,550. On January 31, 2013, TNA Wrestling announced that they would tape their weekly show Impact Wrestling in different venues around the United States, with the first live show being held on March 14, 2013 in the Sears Center in Hoffman Estates, Illinois. On November 21, 2013, TNA returned to Universal Studios due to rising costs of taping Impact Wrestling from different venues. TNA began holding tapings at Soundstage 19 instead of returning to the original TNA Impact Zone, Soundstage 21, due to it being occupied by another tenant. TNA announced that starting with their March 13, 2014 live broadcast, Impact Wrestling will be filmed from another Universal Studios soundstage, Soundstage 20. Soundstage 19 was only a temporary venue for Impact Wrestling tapings. From June 19, 2014 to January 29, 2015, TNA taped Impact Wrestling from the Sands Casino Event Center in Bethlehem, Pennsylvania and the Manhattan Center's Grand Ballroom in New York City. In late January 2015, TNA taped Impact Wrestling at the SSE Hydro in Glasgow, Scotland, the Manchester Arena in Manchester, England and Wembley Arena in London, England as part of their annual Maximum Impact Tour, before returning to Universal Studios in Orlando, Florida. During this time TNA also stepped away from the Impact Zone moniker for the venue. International partnerships. TNA has throughout its history worked with internationally based wrestling promotions, including having championships from those promotions defended on TNA TV and PPV. TNA has in the past worked with Mexican promotion Consejo Mundial de Lucha Libre, as well as Japanese promotions Inoki Genome Federation, New Japan Pro Wrestling Noah and Wrestle One, and on March 2, 2014 collaborated with Wrestle One in producing the Kaizen Outbreak Super Show in Tokyo, Japan. From 2008 to 2011, TNA had a relationship with NJPW. TNA send wrestlers to participate in NJPW's event Wrestle Kingdom. Also, NJPW send Okada to TNA to train. However, in 2011, NJPW turned down the relationship after Okada was used as Samoa Joe's sidekick. In May 2015, it was reported that the relationship between TNA and Wrestle One had ended. TNA currently has working agreements with Mexican promotion Asistencia Asesoria y Administración, American independent promotion Evolve, and startup national promotion Global Force Wrestling.